I'll move this window over.
Oh, you're moving. Wow. Just a window, huh? Okay.
Just the whole window.
All right. Well, you can start recording. Intro song. And 3, 2, 1. Welcome back, everybody, to the Final Checkpoint podcast. Each week, we react to the latest video game news and talk about games we are playing. My name is Joel.
And I'm Ben.
And each week, you can find this podcast on most of your local podcast services like Spotify, Stitcher, iTunes, Google Podcasts, and thegamefanatics.com. You can also find the video version of this podcast on youtube.com/loadlastcheckpoint if you want to look at a picture of Ben and me making dramatic, weird faces. Some of them, mostly just me looking at myself at the camera, not really sure what to do. You can also watch us live as we record this on twitch.tv/loadlastcheckpoint, 8 p.m. Pacific time every Sunday. If you're not sure what time zone that might be for you, Google it and then adjust accordingly. Ben, how was your weekend? The weekend's over.
Sure, it is. Yeah. I don't know. It's another week.
Another week.
I don't know. I couldn't tell you 4 things that happened last week. I have no idea.
Okay. All right. Well,
No clue. Did you do anything?
let's see. I did go to Home Depot this morning.
Oh.
We're redoing our bathroom, so that's fun.
Okay.
What else did I do?
You want to redo my bathroom?
No, I'm not quite
Okay,
sure
yeah.
what I'm doing. So we're just watching YouTube videos and following along to some of the stuff, and then just
Yeah.
gonna take a crack at it, I guess.
I mean, I'll still want you to do it.
Yeah. Okay.
Better than me doing it.
I got to watch a couple shows. Excited. Watched WandaVision. Watched the latest episode of Attack on Titan, which was insane for all you anime fans out there. Yeah.
Ooh, anime.
It was a pretty chill weekend. I enjoyed it. It was pretty nice. Played some video games. So always good. Yeah. Did you do anything along those lines? Watch any shows, any movies, anything like that?
No, I watched. I'm waiting until WandaVision's closer to being done, so I can get 1 month and bounce.
Oh, okay.
Before that, I watched. What's the name of that movie? Shaun of the Dead.
Oh man, is that your first time seeing it? I think
Yeah.
that's what. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I was obsessed with that movie when it came out.
I don't like Edgar Wright's style.
Okay.
I see why people do. I totally get it, but it doesn't work for me. And it's not like I hate it. It just doesn't. It doesn't click. It feels too much like a music video without the music, but then sometimes actually with the music, oddly enough. And I don't know. I didn't hate the movie. I liked the movie fine.
Yeah.
But as like, oh man, you gotta watch Shaun of the Dead. It was fine. Like I get it. The stuff happens at the beginning and then it happens at the end. Like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Like, I fucking get it. It's not that revelatory. It's very well done, but I don't really.
Yeah, it's older too. I mean, I think when it first came out, it was something that I hadn't really seen before. So that type of humor and everything, I was like, I really loved it, and it introduced me to gosh, I can't even think of his name.
Simon Pegg.
Yeah, Simon Pegg and his buddy too. I don't remember his name.
I don't
either.
know his name.
But I think out of watching like Hot Fuzz and the one where they bar hop and go to like because it's the end of the world or something like that. That Shaun of the Dead to me is still by far my favorite one out of all of them. I didn't think Hot Fuzz was as good as people think it is, which is fine. I mean, they probably do. I still think Shaun of the Dead is better than those. But yeah, if I were to go back and watch it, it'd probably be a little bit rough around the edges. But I still really like the humor, especially when there's that one friend with the glasses that they like just don't like.
Yeah.
which kind of cracks me up.
It's funny.
Yeah.
But it was like, oh, that's cute more than
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm watching Hot Fuzz today,
Okay. All right.
so we'll see.
It's not bad. It's just like it to me. It almost feels like they made it before Shaun of the Dead. When I
That's
was
weird.
watching, I was like, why does it feel like this was made before Shaun? Even though it probably wasn't. I don't think it was. But yeah,
No, it was after.
yeah, I like that movie. It's pretty good. Cool. Well,
Yeah.
we did non-video game stuff. That's always fun. I worked on our podcast layout a little bit. I just kind of changed up our, like, if it's just me and you, so we have a different layout on stream, and then we'll have one if we have like a special guest like Logan. And then yeah, that's pretty much it. I just kind of did that. And then I got my Elgato working again. In the middle of the week, I had a panic because it just would not work.
Yeah. So did you get a new one?
No,
Or you fixed it?
I fixed it. I don't know what I did. I just kind of like messed around with plugging it into different consoles, and then one of them like kicked it in the ass and it started working again. What's weird is when I was using it on the Switch and then I unplugged it and hooked it up to my PS4, it went into like a 4x3 mode. So it only stayed in that mode, and so all my like gameplay was like cut off. And then I had to like unplug it all, like from my PC and everything like that. Restart my computer. I plugged it all back in. I opened up the Elgato software, and in there it was still like that. And I was like, what the fuck? So then I just like Control Alt Delete and then closed it from there, and then opened up Streamlabs, and then it just like fixed it. So I don't. I'm a computer genius, basically. So I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it worked.
I did it. I hacked the internet. So if anybody needs any help, let me know.
I'll do not ask to help for that.
Do not ask me. Yeah.
No.
Cool. Well, we got some gaming news to talk about. The gaming industry went back to work this week, it sounds like.
Oh yeah.
A lot of stuff to talk about, and then we'll talk about some games we played because we went back to work this week and started playing some video games. So I'm excited. So Ben, why don't you get us started with our topic of the show?
Our topic of the show is dun 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 dun. It's Indiana
Uncharted.
Jones,
Oh, okay.
if you don't know. It's not Uncharted. Fucking hell. I looked up. I was gonna play the Indiana Jones theme on my laptop.
Yeah.
But it doesn't really pick up very well on the microphone.
Oh, okay.
But as I was watching, God, those movies are so good. I love Indiana Jones. I really do. They're just so fun, and I think that's kind of what I think is missing from Uncharted, is that it's too much of let's just shoot and kill everybody. That's not. I want to be swashbuckling around and exploring shit.
Yeah.
Not just killing fools. If I want to kill fools, I'll play a different game. Like that's a different thing. Anyway, so the news is Machine Games, part of Bethesda,
makers of Wolfenstein and Wolfenstein 2.
Wolfenstein 2 and 1 and whatever they're named.
Yeah.
Is making an Indiana Jones game. This is obviously far away since that was the announcement.
Yeah. Todd Howard is what? Executive?
Producer?
Director?
Creative director?
Creative director.
Producer. He's one of those. It really doesn't matter. I think it's produced.
I'll look it up.
I don't know. Someone else.
I'll look it up.
Okay. This is very exciting for me since I love Indiana Jones. There's so many possibilities with this. I think if you played Wolfenstein 2, you know they're really good. Machine Games is really good at pulling off these narrative moments in a action game. Obviously, Wolfenstein is probably going to be way more actiony than Indiana Jones. But, it's still going to be that mix. They can definitely pull it off. There's some awesome moments in that game. I'm super excited for 2025 or whatever the hell this comes out.
Now they're working on a new movie. Do you think it'll come out around that time, or do you think it'll come out before? I think
it's a fool's errand to do that.
I mean,
I know they've
Harrison
said
Ford is pretty old by now.
Sure. They had what is it? On that teaser, there's like a ticket to the Vatican or something. Not a ticket to Vatican, ticket to Rome, and then a map of the Vatican, and a date. There's some kind of date that places it after the first movie.
Okay.
So it fits within the timeline. I'm so excited to rewatch these movies. It's been forever,
Hmm.
and then play this stupid game in 5 years. Are
Yeah,
you an Indiana Jones fan?
you know, I'm not a huge Indiana Jones fan just
Okay.
because I haven't watched them since I was a kid, so I do need to go back and watch them. The last
I
one I
guess I
watched,
haven't
I
either.
mean, the last time I watched an Indiana Jones movie was when the Crystal Skull came out, and yeah, not great. Also, I'm not a
Yeah.
big Harrison Ford fan. I just think I feel like he's only
Huh.
interested when he gets paid, and then his characters are all the same, just grumpy old man.
That is
And
true. I do think he's overrated.
I think he's overrated. Like I loved Han Solo, and I loved when he played Dr. Jones. Um, but ever since then, like any movie I've seen him in, I'm just like, he's just the same character now. Like he's just grumpy guy. Like,
Yeah, I think he's fine. He he's fine.
yeah, I
Like,
just like I hope he's nowhere near this game. I hope they don't even try to get him to like voice act or anything because I just think he would come in and be like, "What is
he
this
can't. He's
stupid game
way.
thing?" He probably can't even hold a controller.
I'm not that really prevent you from providing. I don't think he should be in. I don't even think it should necessarily look like him. But, well, I don't know. Man, maybe then you run into the Marvel Avengers problem. Like, you just look all funny. Oh, my voice is being all weird. Hold on.
Yeah.
Joel, the every internet is broken, and we're gonna get down to the bottom of it.
Yeah, it's okay as long as your recording is good. We'll
The
be fine.
recording's fine. Yeah, the recording's
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah. I mean, I think this is well, another thing to probably talk about is if this is going to be exclusive to Xbox, which or
Mm-hmm.
Microsoft, which I don't think that's going to happen.
I don't. Yeah, I agree. But then people bring up the point of Spider-Man being exclusive, and there's no reason for that to be exclusive.
Right, right. I think the difference with Sony having an exclusive compared to Microsoft is the console install base, right? Like I think that makes a huge difference when it comes to getting exclusive deals where
Yeah.
like Sony has the install base even already with I mean not really with PS5 yet because there's just no consoles out there
Mm-hmm.
because they only made like 5,000.
Uh-huh.
But I think just in general like if this comes out for which I have no idea if it even will. If it comes out for Xbox One and PS4, then that's a huge install base for Sony and that's money for Microsoft with Bethesda. Although at the same time we don't know if this deal was made before they were acquired by Microsoft. So
Oh, it definitely was made before. I don't even think the. I don't think they've closed the deal on buying them yet.
oh really? Oh, that's
Yeah,
unfortunate.
I don't. I don't think that's officially done. Like they're
Hmm.
they're acting like it's done because they're going through with it and all that, but
Yeah, yeah.
I don't think the ink has dried or whatever they say.
Oh. Yeah, I mean,
Uh,
I could see this totally being everywhere. I think because it's such a huge license, I don't really see it being stuck on one console.
right.
I think
I do.
Sony's just greedy where they can be because they know that's like mine. Like, come get it, mine. Especially with
Mine.
Spider-Man.
It is weird that Spider-Man, because obviously they'd sell millions of that game on PC and Xbox.
Oh yeah.
There's no reason not to do it. So I wonder what that deal is. And Indiana Jones is, especially now, a smaller property than Spider-Man.
Yeah.
So it makes more sense for it to be everywhere. And I do think that proposition of, hey, you can buy this game for $70 or it's on Game Pass for free. That's
True.
that's just as good as having it as an exclusive, in my opinion.
Yeah, yeah.
And they get the money either way.
Interesting. It'll be interesting to see what happens.
Yes. So this was all part of the Lucasfilm Games rebrand, or kind of relaunch of that brand. And with that also came the announcement, I think personally, a very strange announcement of an open world Star Wars game. No title, no nothing,
Mm-hmm.
nothing about it at all. It's just happening. And this is by the Division dev. What's the name of it?
Um,
Oh, it's on the tip of my tongue.
Massive. Is it Massive? Massive, right?
Yes. Yes, but I'm not confident. Uh, Division and Division 2 developer making an open world Star Wars game. This sounds great. To
Massive
me, this sounds like a
entertainment.
third-person shooter where you're in the rebellion or something, which sounds awesome.
Yeah,
Let's do it.
that'd be cool. Do you think it's gonna go more along the lines of like a looter shooter kind of thing, or do you think they're gonna go for something a little more like not online, repetitive RPG ish?
I would hope it's not an online thing, although I could see it having kind of like the Division's Dark Zones,
Mm,
where there are levels where everyone's in there doing some kind of mission, and then you can leave it and go back to your whatever.
yeah,
Uh,
that'd
that
be so
makes
interesting.
sense. I don't want it to be a looter shooter, but I'd be okay with it. It maybe if they toned it down. Like
Yeah,
it doesn't need to be as intense,
yeah,
but I'm into
it's.
it.
I think it's such a great decision to have massive entertainment. Is what it is.
There.
You know, try their hand at a Star Wars game. I'd be so interested because the gunplay, for sure, with like the
Right.
Division and like the cover system and everything like that. I and the way they use their tech, like when you have drones and stuff, like I'm interested to see what they do with Star Wars. I'm really excited for that. I'm really excited for EA to finally not have Star Wars. Like,
Right.
they still
That
got what till 2023, I think. But I mean, all these games
yes.
are like coming, after that, and it'll be nice to get a fresh set of Star Wars games that just haven't been touched by EA.
100% agree. I would, when I'm thinking about, we'll get back to EA in a second, but when I think about a a third person open world Star Wars quasi shooter, I almost think of Horizon, and
Oh yeah,
that would be an awesome setup for a game where instead of you're fighting these dinosaur robots, you're fighting all those whatever they are called. I don't know, ATSTs or
the
the little
AT-ATs,
chicken walkers.
the chicken walkers,
Yeah.
the AT-ATs, or
No, those are the snowy ones. The little ones on Endor.
I forgot what those are called.
I
I'm not as
think it's
big of a
ATSTs.
Okay, all right, we'll give that one to you. I'm not as
I
big of
don't
a
know.
Star
I'm
Wars
not
nerd as
that
I.
big of a Star Wars person. I don't know.
Yeah. We need like a lifeline we could dial into of just someone who knows Star Wars in and out. Chat, if you're in the
Anyone.
chat and you know which one he's talking about,
I don't know what a
throw it
star
in there.
is.
All right. He doesn't know what a Star
But
Wars is.
right, I do think it's great to get this license away from EA.
Yeah.
Um,
They
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 made
did not
a
do a great job.
they came out and made a statement. EA, like, oh, we're continuing to work with Lucasfilm Games and whatever, because obviously they still have Battlefront, or yeah, Battlefront,
Yeah.
and I'm sure there'll be another one of those. There's going to be another Jedi Fallen Order.
Oh,
That makes
yes.
that makes sense.
That makes sense. Yeah. I'm
But when you look at it, they've had 10 years, and in
yeah.
7 of those years, they put out 4 games
And canceled who knows how many.
and canceled at least 3, I think.
Yeah.
And 2 of those games came out to like very negative press.
Yeah.
It's not, they just really. I was super fired up earlier in the week about how bad EA did, and now I'm just exhausted.
Yeah.
They did so bad with this IP, the biggest license in the world for 10 years. You had it. You could do anything you want with it. And you just didn't do anything. You
They're
just
just so
didn't do
greedy.
anything.
It's all the greed, man. All those loot boxes, their idea of like, how do we make a game that we can make as much money as possible with the Star Wars name and not care about like the quality?
Yeah, but they could have but here's the thing. You could have given Criterion a pod racing game.
Mm-hmm.
And you could have made a $30 pod racing game that was just fine.
Yeah.
And that would have sold millions and millions of copies. You could have given Yacht Club Games and said, "Hey, make a new Super Star Wars." Like
Yeah, that would have been cool.
You could have done anything.
Yeah.
And instead you just shit the bed and then wallowed around in your shit for 5 years and then was like, "Why
Gross.
did my bed smell funny?" Cuz you fucking shit all over the place, EA.
My
God
God.
damn it. Terrible.
Yeah. Yeah, like Rogue Squadron I think came out and it was like what maybe like cool. It was like okay ratings and
Oh,
reviews.
not Rogue Squadron.
Not Rogue Squadron. What am I thinking of?
I know what you're thinking, but I
Oh
can't remember
gosh.
the name. We're old now. We don't remember anything.
very recent. Gosh.
God, now I really want to know. It's like Star
Oh,
Wars
it's just Squadrons.
Squadrons.
But yeah, and I see people playing it. And I mean, I think that's one that they made good on because it was priced lower than 60 and online just dogfighting basically. And I've heard Battlefront 2 ended up having a really good turnaround and being actually really good online. And
I really like that game.
yeah, I want to play it. I want to see how it turned out. It was
I think it's free on Epic.
It's free on Epic and it was free on PlayStation Plus. So I wanna check it out on PC once my PC comes in someday in the future.
Got it.
But that's I want to check out everything once that happens. But
yeah, it's not like they put out a bunch of bad products. It's just they canceled a bunch of products and didn't really do anything for a long time.
yeah,
And it's almost as if you couldn't screw this up better unless you tried. And it almost feels like they did try to screw it up. And under no circumstances, if I was Disney or Lucasfilm or whoever, and I looked at this deal, would I think, oh, that was a good decision?
Yeah.
And the stranger thing, too, is EA had to pay for this. It's not like Disney was paying them. You don't, you pay to use Star Wars. You pay to have that exclusively.
yeah.
So they paid for this and then did nothing with it.
A lot of wasted potential money that that they lost. Really.
I don't.
Yeah.
It's just baffling to me how bad they did it. And EA in general, these last, I don't know, this whole last generation, the whole PS4 generation, not a lot to speak for, at all.
Yeah, they could have given us a new Jedi Academy.
They could have given us literally anything, and it would have been better than what they did.
That's true. I'd be excited for how they made Gears Tactics, right? Give me a Star Wars version of that.
Yeah, that's
be
exactly
awesome.
my point. Just get a bunch of indie developers that everyone loves Star Wars. Just find one. Oh, you did a cool, like Fell Seal or whatever. Hey, make that less hardcore, but put Star Wars in it. Make that for us. Okay, bye.
Yeah.
Like, that's it. That's all you got to do. But they just wanted to make it so mass market, these big budget AAA games with nothing else. And that I don't think that was a good plan. You had this license. You could have done anything. Anything at all. Dream bigger, EA.
Yes.
Ridiculous.
Dream bigger. All right, next item.
Speaking of dreams, if you were thinking you were going to play Hogwarts Legacy this year, keep dreaming.
Damn. Crushing
'Cause
dreams.
It's delayed to 2022. This is nice to get out of the way.
Yeah.
So you're not wondering for the whole year. It's a little bit weird, but it's nice.
Who's working on Hogwarts Legacy? I forgot.
Oh, God. I have no memory.
We're just
for
really bad this
anything
week with who's working on
It's
what.
like,
I think I just haven't looked at the news in a
It's like
long
Avalanche
time.
or something, though.
Oh,
But
okay.
Not the other. It's the other one.
Why is there two?
There's
What the
two
fuck?
Because one's like Avalanche Games, and then one's Avalanche something else.
Avalanche. It's Avalanche Software
Avalanche.
that's working on it.
Okay. Yeah.
Cool.
And
All
I think
right.
the other one's just Avalanche. I don't know.
So yeah.
So it's not the one that made Mad Max and Rage 2. It's the other one that made Disney Infinity and something else.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah, I'm not. It looks
Warner
cool.
Brothers.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
I mean,
excited, but
perfect. Well, it's all right. It'll give me time to build my my background for my character and think about what.
you got to work on the deep lore for your OC.
Yeah, I still don't know if I want to be a Ravenclaw or a
Oh
Hufflepuff
my god.
because I keep coming out of Slytherin, but I really don't want to be
That's
evil.
because you are.
Yeah,
You're a
but
Slytherin or a Hufflepuff. Hufflepuff.
I really want to be a Hufflemuff.
When I grow up, that's what I want.
Yeah, that's where I belong.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's move on to some good news.
Oh, I'm so excited. We got a release date for Pokemon Snap. It's now called New Pokemon Snap, which I hate.
Is that
But-
really? Wait,
Yes.
is that really what it's called?
Yes, it's called New Pokemon
Oh
Snap.
gosh.
Fucking
Shame.
just kill me now. But coming out April 30th. And I am super excited. I love Pokemon Snap. It's so fun. And watch this trailer. This is what a Pokemon game should look like. Like an actual fucking game from 2021. Not this bullshit 4 polygon tree Pokemon company. Ridiculous.
Oh, the trees look fine.
That game runs like shit.
There's plenty of other shit they need to fix in these Pokemon games besides the trees.
It's all visual.
I know.
Only the visuals are the problem.
It does look good, but I've just never been a huge fan of Pokemon Snap.
I
I'll probably
am
pass on
really
it.
hoping it's longer than the original game. The original game's probably like 4 hours. So this better be a lot more involved. I'm sure it will be, but to what degree? I have such fond memories. It was my first Pokemon game, I think, was Pokemon Snap.
Weird.
Yeah, it was weird. It came with the N64. It was Pokemon Snap and Mario Kart.
Oh.
So I played a lot of Mario Kart and a lot of Pokemon Snap. I loved it. It was so cool because it's like a Disney ride, but you're just throwing shit out the side of the car. Pokemon.
Now, okay, I'm trying to remember because I've only played through Pokemon Snap once.
Mm-hmm.
Did the Pokemon have different variations the next time you would go back through, or was it just like you go back through and it's like, oh look, he's doing the same shit?
It's the same, but you'd get new items, and you'd be like using the items to throw, to like lead Pokemon to an object, or to lead them to another Pokemon, or
Okay.
knock them into lava and turn them into Charmeleon,
Oh, I do remember that. Okay.
stuff like that.
All right.
Yeah,
So there'll be
so
fun stuff like that to do.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. And I hope they add in like different paths and things for you to take. I'm really hopeful.
Yeah.
I'm very excited for this. I love Pokemon Snap. This will be my GameFly game.
Shout out to Gamefly.
Shout out to GameFly. Because $60, I don't know. I don't know if I can. I don't know if I'm in on a 10-hour Pokemon Snap game for $60. We'll see. We'll see.
Yeah.
But probably not.
Okay.
I want to know how many Pokemon are in it too.
Yeah, I think that would help to have at least a hint of like maybe an estimate. I don't want to know the exact number because it'd be nice to have like surprises, but like
Right.
what's an estimate? Like, am I looking at more than? Because now there's what, over 1,000 Pokemon or close to that.
I think it's like 800, 900.
Yeah, like so if it's like, oh look, there's 200 Pokemon. It's like, really? You have 1 billion
Right.
Pokemon? You're gonna give us like 200, and you're gonna charge us $60?
You saw them all in the trailer.
Yeah, that'd be disappointing.
So
I think.
the original game, obviously, this was when it was just 151. I think it only had like 80 or so. There were a lot that weren't in it. All the usual suspects were. But
Yeah, there's a few missing. I remember.
yeah, a lot were missing. I'm excited. I'm excited for it. If you get to have a little Pokemon in your car, that'd be cool. Just hopping around with you, but that's probably not gonna happen. Oh man, you could go back to the original level. If they remake like the original beach level from the beginning of Pokemon Snap in this, I'll be so excited. Oh.
What if it's just a remake of the original?
No, this is what it is. You beat the campaign, and then it says, hey, we got a couple more stages, and it's just the original game.
That would be
but
cool.
They redid the graphics. Oh my god. That's $60 for me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's
So
fucking go.
that also came along with rumors of a possible remake for Diamond and Pearl, right? Those are just rumors, but nothing's
Those
been
are all
confirmed.
still rumors. That's been going on forever.
Interesting.
It is Pokemon's, what, 25th anniversary
Yeah.
this year? So I'm sure we'll see something. This is just the beginning.
I'm down for remakes. I just still would love for Pokemon to do something new with their next, like, new installment. I'd still be down to play any remakes of the older ones because I know, like, for me, Diamond and Pearl was probably Diamond and Pearl and Black and White 1 and Black and White 2 were probably the ones I remember the least. But I remember Ruby and Sapphire, especially because I played Omega, Sapphire, and whatever the fuck the other ones are. Because the names are so weird. But I would love
Sapphire.
Yeah, Alpha Sapphire and Omega Ruby or something.
Yeah.
I would just love to replay Diamond and Pearl, but like just to refresh my memory. 'Cause some of those did have interesting stories, and then I don't really remember the Pokemon in there in those games.
I don't know. With Pokemon Snap and with Sword and Shield. I feel like I don't care about mainline Pokemon games. They're just not for me. They're
They're
not
just
making
not.
this game.
They're just not any different. You know. They
I
just.
liked a lot of Sword and Shield though.
I liked a lot of it, but then like it's one of those things where like it's fun when there's new stuff in it. Kind of like when you play Animal Crossing and there's new stuff, right? It's like it's exciting, and then you're kind of like, wow, okay, never mind. That was like fun for the 15 minutes I did it, or like the amount of time that I got it done, and then it's like, wow, that really wasn't much, and this is kind of samey. And now that I look back on it, was it really fun, or was I just like, did I get that small, was that dopamine hit, and then like
Right.
that's it? I don't know. I just
I
like
just wish.
I think with games like Animal Crossing and Pokemon, like they give me this moment of joy, and then I get almost bitter when I look back on them.
Because they haven't changed. I brought up that example the other day, right, where there was the trailer for Sword and Shield, and it like the camera follows you into the cave and it moves around. I'm like, this is really cool. And then I thought about it for a second. And, oh no, this is like a PS2 game did this. It's just never happened in a Pokemon game before because
Mm.
we're living in some weird time warp where things that happened in 2004 are just now happening in Pokemon games. I I don't know. I don't know what the solution is. Honestly, I feel like the solution is make a new gen and have it only be those Pokemon and double down on that
Oh, maybe.
and redesign the battle system. But that's the thing. Like, there's so much stuff I would change that is now what saccharine, I guess.
Mm.
Like you can't mess with anything
Yeah.
because people are gonna get mad. But I feel like you need to change 50% of that game to make it more than what it is because it started as baby's first Pokemon or RPG, and it's still that, and it's almost devolved. We've seen other games do more than this. I remember like Nino Kuni 1 is an amazing Pokemon game that's way more than a Pokemon game.
Yeah. I just bought
And
it on
that's
the
what I would like.
Switch. I just bought the re-release on the Switch too.
It's great.
I
It's a
know.
great game.
I can't wait to play it again.
I
You
play
know,
that game in Japanese, so
I think what we'll have to do is one of these episodes we're gonna have to summon Odell Harmon Jr. back onto the show
uh-huh.
and just have like a deep Pokemon intervention. We'll name the episode the Pokemon Intervention,
Okay.
and I don't know if it's gonna be him lecturing us or us sitting him down and telling him how bad Pokemon is. I don't know what it's gonna be, but I think we need to do that. I think it'd be fun.
I agree.
I think
God, I just
he'd have some good like opinions on what would make it better, or what he'd
better.
like to see
Yeah.
new, especially because he's so into battling and breeding like Pokemon for battling, especially
I just
online.
don't understand what the battles are. Maybe I should watch.
I want to
If we
watch his
do
streams.
that,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, I'll have to watch actual competitive battling because, from my understanding, it's literally like four moves that you kind of have. You just have to know random types and counters and stuff, and that's interesting. But I don't care. I just don't care. I just don't think Pokemon's for me. I don't. Those
Hmm.
games are not going to be for me, and I'll play them every whatever and what. Nah, nah. I'm more excited about this Pokemon Snap.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We'll just take pictures of Pokemon. That's cool.
Yeah,
It's not creepy at
and
all.
it looks beautiful. It looks like a modern game. I want. I just am so exhausted with the Switch. Everything looks like garbage. With the
Oh,
Switch.
yeah. Well, you just got to
Ah,
play some indie games on it, and then you'll be like, okay, well, at least these games look old and they're meant to look like this.
that's true. That's
That's
true.
it's the indie machine. So you just gotta
Well,
use.
that's like we'll get to Monster Hunter Rise,
Yeah,
but that was the thing with it. Like, God, this does not look that great.
yeah.
All right, next little bit of news. We have the CD Projekt Red apology video. Yay!
Yay!
Um, I don't even know where do you start with this. There was this story, and there was also Jason Schreier's reporting about from like 20 sources at the company
Hmm.
what went wrong, what happened.
They
There's a lot.
basically pulled an Anthem. Close, not entirely, but like they showed a demo and then it ended up not being what they were doing, but like
Well,
they
the Anthem
stated,
video's way
yeah,
worse.
I mean, yeah, Anthem is definitely a lot more egregious of an example, but like, and they even stated like, yeah, we showed you parts of a game we ended up not using because games evolved during development, and so there's like some backup there from I forgot who it was, one of the I think creative directors of the game.
Uh-huh.
But it's just interesting. Like they apologized for all the kerflubbles of launch and all the issues with the game, and it's like we probably know. Like I think did we need to hear this? I mean, we already probably know. Like, do they need to
No.
apologize? Do we need to hear it, or do it's just like, dude, just fucking fix the game. Hurry up, shut up.
I do think it's weird to be upset that the game years before release is different.
Mm-hmm.
If anyone's followed video games for even a few years, you should already know this.
Yeah,
Unless you're watching a gameplay trailer, don't expect it to be gameplay. The fact that it was behind closed doors is a big indication of this is probably not going to happen.
yeah,
Uh, I don't mind that, and I haven't gone back. I think it would be interesting to go back to that original whatever 50-minute video and see what's different about it, because that's a mission that's in the game from my recollection.
mm-hmm.
But yeah,
Yeah.
the apology was fine. It obviously doesn't excuse the whole like the
It
game
doesn't.
not working on PS4 and Xbox One.
Yeah, I mean, I think like the worst thing is the console version situation. Like,
Yeah,
yeah, the bugs and everything are bad, and the whole like not giving out console versions because of how bad it is, like, is awful. But like, I mean, in a way, like, I get why game companies show their best. You know, they put their best foot forward when it comes to showing off their game, because kind of like when if you're gonna have company, you clean your house to show how nice it is,
yeah,
because you don't want them to look at your normal mess.
yeah.
So I get it.
That's just my mess.
Yeah, like, you know, I don't want you to look at my mess here, so I
I have to
fix it
hide
up.
all my amiibos.
Exactly. Hide your shame. So
There's so much; it's everywhere.
but yeah, I mean, it's I'm you know, at this point we're all just tired of hearing about CD Projekt Red and
Yeah,
the game. Like, we're just like, just fix it at this point. We're just wanting you to fix it so that we can all enjoy it, because as as crazy as everyone was like, we want refunds, like, I doubt there were that many refunds, and even then, if people are still trying to get refunds, if it happens, it happens. But I don't think it's gonna have that much of an impact on the game, because it's still sold really well, and I think there's
yeah.
still plenty of people that want to play the game that maybe can't because they either don't have the console for it, or they just don't, they want to play it on PC or something like that. Like, who knows, like, the situation. So
With this also came with kind of the delay of the DLC that they were going to be putting out, the free DLC they were going to do. Also, the next gen versions are seemingly further out. So we'll see how any of this happens.
yeah,
I don't know. I feel like people are obviously there was mismanagement going on, and the Schreier piece goes into this pretty well. Actually, I think some of the insights that he didn't put in the article that he just posted on Twitter were almost more interesting. Um, but they all exist within the Schreier verse
yeah,
of this story. Obviously, there were problems and mismanagement, and the studio ballooned in size for this game.
yeah,
And then they had to work from home for the last 9 months of development. And they cite that as a big issue because the dev kits were at the studio. And I buy that by and large, because you don't want to, like, oh, let me drive to the studio to test this thing. Oh, I gotta drive home. That's stupid. But eh, obviously they knew this was a problem. Blah blah blah. It is tired. I'm just tired of this. I want to
yeah,
play the game again, and I will play the game again, but not today.
yeah. It seems like a lot of their issues would have been resolved by just being transparent with everybody and then
I think
delaying the game further. But really,
maybe.
like, but at a certain point, like, who knows how the high ups in the company and the shareholders were pushing things.
I feel like they're being very transparent now, but in a weird way. And
Well, yeah, at this
I
point, everybody does that
yeah,
when things are
I
this bad.
I think uh, I think they should have just not released the console versions at all.
Hmm.
Just had it be a PC. Say we're delaying the other ones, and that's it.
Yeah.
And then it would have been like, huh, it's a little buggy, but whatever. It wouldn't have been a big story. You come out in May and release this game on PS5 and Xbox One and just kind of be like, yeah, the other version's not happening, and people are gonna be mad. And then you could probably post a video, be like, this is what it looked like on PS4. You fucking want to play this? No, you don't. Shut up and go away. Like
Yeah.
you don't.
You don't want to
There's
play this, man. You don't want to
I
play
didn't
this
mention
shit.
this. In the options for Cyberpunk, there's a slow hard drive speed toggle.
Really?
Yeah, in the because when you get a PC game and it's like super intense, I want to go through all the options, and it's just like if you have a slow hard drive, turn this on.
Oh, wow. Okay.
It's like they make a bespoke option that they probably had to make just for the last gen consoles. It's pretty funny.
Wow.
There's another option like that too,
Interesting.
but I just do that slow. I don't. That's not the exact words, but it is slow hard drive mode. God.
Slow-mo mode.
Oh man.
Moving on.
Moving on. You know more about the story than I do, so I'll let you take this.
Yeah, so I'm gonna say his name wrong because I already looked. I already
Oh,
saw it in my eyes, so I'm already gonna pronounce it incorrectly. Patrick
in my
Klepek.
eyes.
Oh, I said it right. Okay, Patrick Klepek
Patrick
from
Klepek.
Vice, Vice Games, I guess. He kind of wrote. He kind of Jason Schreiered and wrote an article about a former Game Explain. Game Explain is a YouTube channel specializing in Nintendo news and Nintendo games. Very popular. I'm a fan of Game Explain.
I've heard of them.
Yeah, I watched a lot of their Animal Crossing videos when it first came out. They would stream it every morning. I enjoyed it. Very fun time. But one of their former employees came out with saying, we're just basically kind of explaining how overworked and underpaid he was, and the working conditions were just kind of pretty horrendous from reading the article. Just like very small amounts of time to crank out like reviews for Final Fantasy VII Remake, for example, and then it ending up not being like very good pay. The like kind of the sacrifices you make in this industry at like altogether, because this isn't just something that happens at Game Explain, but the way it seemed like, because that it's a smaller group of people that work at this, on this channel, it seemed like he felt like he was helping out a friend, and like, I got to do this for my friend, for the channel, because they're relying on me to do this, but really he was being taken advantage of, it felt like. So and I guess other people are feeling this, like have felt this way, former coworkers of Game Explain as well. But when that came out, I was like, man, this is pretty normal in this industry. Not that,
Yeah.
this isn't something I do because I'm not professionally in this industry. Like, this is just a hobby for me. But like, this happens. And this is something we've talked about several times, with the hypocrisy of like the way they go after game devs for crunch, and how they'd say nothing when it comes to reviewers and everything like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw a little comment from Cory Barlog, because I think someone had commented on this article, and Cory Barlog had put out like a little, like, yep, it does happen kind of a thing. But yeah, he's always in there. He's always like, yeah, get those fuckers. But
he's floating around.
yeah. But I thought it was pretty shocking, because this channel seems so like wholesome, and I never thought of seeing Game Explain in like this weird, like dark light. And now like one of their videos popped up today, and I was like, man, I feel weird about the Game Explain logo all of a sudden. Like, I feel bad for the workers there. Andre Sagers, who I know just from him being on Kind of Funny, and also just like him doing the Animal Crossing streams, like he came out with a statement and said like he he obviously would have not wanted any staffers to feel this way, and he, you know, he always thought it was him and friends doing this together, and so like, he obviously to kind of save his butt and kind of save the channel,
Sure.
and it seems like he does feel bad the way people are feeling about working there. It seems like this could help out that that channel and to hopefully provide better working conditions for staff. But like at one point, I think they talked about how he had like the former staffer had worked his ass off to get this video done, and it ended up being maybe like only $500, but he had worked his ass off. Like his wife was like watching their 3 kids or something like that, and I don't like it's a crazy story. I
Right.
highly recommend you guys head over to Vice Games and read it. It's pretty shocking, some of the stuff. Like one of the guys are like his wife had to go work, and so it was just him and his 3 kids at home, and he had to crank out this article, so he was getting very little sleep, he was barely eating, and like he had to do this in order to provide for them. So it's just like it's like awful to read. Like you read about these conditions, it's just like, fuck, dude, this is like so sad to read about. And now that guy, he's working somewhere better. He's working like a 9 to 5, and he's able to provide for his family. But it's just like the shit people go through to get very little back.
Mhm.
It doesn't say anything about how much Game Explain makes, because obviously they probably, Andre Sagers probably keeps that hidden, or
Yeah, well,
for
I think in the article there was a spot about money making from the YouTube channel and stuff that was like $20,000 a month or something from ads and whatever all that is.
yeah, yeah.
So from what I've gathered, unless there's a giant team, that money's going somewhere, and it ain't to the dude win his family.
Yeah. Yeah, it was Steve
I do.
Bowling, formerly of
Okay.
Game Explain, and it even talked about like how he would sit at his desk crying, and like he spent 48 hours straight like playing Final Fantasy VII Remake, like, and his wife would have to like bring him meals, and so just just awful. Like what an awful way to experience not only a video game, but like the amount of pressure you put yourself under to get the work done.
Yeah.
Just awful.
Well, and the funny thing too is this all stems from marketing and PR. And if you got the code for this game 2 weeks before it came out, you wouldn't have a problem. There wouldn't be a let's crunch to the end of this review.
Mm-hmm.
And there's also the counter idea of that of you don't need to put your review out on the first day, or you shouldn't have to. That shouldn't be the end of everything. I think a lot of games media, traditional games media, is still stuck in that old paradigm, and you'll hear comments from people like, "Oh, it just you got to get the clicks, you got to do this, you got to do this." Like, I don't. If you are having to do all this shit just to stay alive, I feel like your business model isn't working. Like
Yeah.
you need to pivot and do something else. Because if Kind of Funny or Min Max or whoever can just have a couple chuckleheads talking about whatever, and that's a viable business model, and you're over here with a team of 20 and you're all busting your ass to like review everything on time and make guides, and you're barely scraping by. I don't think people want as many people want your product as you think
Yeah.
want your product.
I think now, for like me being aware of the type of like just the sacrifice and type of shit that someone like Steve Bowling would go through working at that channel, it makes me want it. Like it almost makes me not want to consume that channel's work. But then I know like, oh, but someone else is now going through that stuff. Like they're possibly, who knows what they've done now since then. Like other than the statement that Andre Sagers made, I haven't seen anything else really besides that. But it's like if you read that article, it's pretty horrific. Like the stuff that they mention, it's pretty bad. I feel so bad for that guy. Like it's I'm happy that he's now working somewhere else where he's happy and stuff like that. But it's just like the shit he had to go through is, and there's probably tons of stories like that around the game industry. But it's just like nobody talks about it as much until, something like this comes out. And then, I haven't seen much else about it since then. So
Yeah.
as the tides turn in the gaming industry.
I do. It is an interesting point, also, where we talk about, oh, you only have 4 days to review Cyberpunk, go, go, go. And how that's definitely crunch, definitely work that doesn't need to be done like that. But then you hear those same people on podcasts super excited to just play video games their entire Christmas break. And I have to wonder, like, well, it's either crunch and work or it's not. And now you're just playing video games for fun. I don't think you can say 8 hours of playing a video game is the same as 8 hours of answering emails or stocking a shelf, like whatever it is. It's never going to be the same, and that's kind of where this whole problem stems from. The whole crunch issue in general stems from, is that this job is inherently based on fun and you like it, and that fucks with your head in terms of what's work, what's not work. And even to the point of where now this is your thing you do for fun and you still enjoy it, but it's also what you do for work. So it just gets all jumbled up, and
Yeah.
it's a mess.
It's a mess. Yeah. It's at that point where you take something you love to do as a hobby and make it into a job, and then all of a sudden that like tug of war of like, do I enjoy this anymore, or do I only play games because it's my job now?
Yeah.
I think a lot of people in the industry probably feel that way at that point, like people that just do reviews or guides. Probably a lot of streamers feel like that. I know I've heard that said on streams before.
Yeah.
Like, I only play games because I have to. Like, it's pretty bad.
Or you do that until you become the guy who wrote the Rock Band 4 preview that was just like basically a therapy session that we were listening in on. Remember that article?
No, oh my god,
like,
I gotta.
Everyone's standing on this roof and they're enjoying this game with this silly guitar, but what does this say about life? And it's
Oh my god.
it's baffling how
Where is that from?
Looked at that. It's from, obviously, Rock Band 4, so it was years ago.
Yeah.
But I'll never forget that article because it was just like, you're there to preview the game, and this is labeled as like the preview for the game, but instead it is like, boy, I sure am depressed.
Dang, that sounds that sounds awful.
It was so bizarre. It's one of the stranger things I've ever read. And then I think that same person wrote something else weird like 2 years ago too. I don't know.
Wow.
Some very strange articles happen out of games media sometimes.
Jeez. All right.
And that's it for the news.
That's it for the news. The news is wrapped up, everybody. Don't forget about the news. Okay.
About what? Okay.
Exactly. Anyways, on to the fun stuff. We're going to talk about games that we played the past couple weeks. We didn't do games we played last week because of the awards that we handed out to all these schlubs. I'm just kidding. So I want to start first before we get into the Monster Hunter Rise. I'm just going to cover a game that I received from Ubisoft. So just as a disclaimer, I received Ubisoft. Received a review code for Scott Pilgrim vs. the World Complete Edition for the Nintendo Switch. So I am playing through that right now. I want to give my initial impressions. I've played a lot of beat 'em ups recently, like Battletoads, Streets of Rage 4. And I've had a hard time really sticking with those, and I think we've talked about that on previous podcast episodes as well. This one I am really enjoying, and I think a lot of it's because I love the movie so much that I'm just like enjoying the parts about it that I recognize so much. Like, oh man, I'm at the Chaos Theater and I'm battling Gideon, or like and a lot of it's the music, but for me the battle system, or like the combat system in it, is really different than any beat 'em up I've played. And it's kind of changing my mind a little bit about beat 'em ups. And now, so I have a feeling after this game, I want to go try River City Girls, because I heard that's really good and it's more like an RPG. But my initial impressions are, if you've played this game before and you know you like it, it's basically the same thing. I'm enjoying it. I think it's a fun game. I'm still playing through. I'm assuming it's the final boss because you're fighting Gideon at the Chaos Theater, and I can get all the way to like his final form. At least I hope it's his final form, because it's like the third phase of the battle. And I'm like so close to beating him, and then I just die. So if you watch the pre-show, I got like so close, like farthest I've ever gotten against him. But I said this on Twitter. People called me brave. Just saying that level's too long. It's too long. It's crazy. Because on average Joe mode, it's my first time playing through it, I'm like at the level cap with the character Stills, so his friend, Scott Pilgrim's friend. And I'm not like, I don't know anything about the game, so like I don't have like all the whatever gear you need or whatever. I've gone to the shops and bought stuff here and there, but like I'm not fully aware of everything in the game, so I don't know all the like the best stuff to have yet. But I'm going in there with 3 lives to start at there, because every time you hit continue and you start the level again, you start all the way over in the level, and you start with 3 lives, and every time you die, you lose a life. Mm-hmm. And like every beat 'em up, and I get all the way to the end, but like, so you go down an elevator, you beat the elevator portion, you fight Gideon, and then after Gideon there's this like weird like path which has gaps, and because it's a beat 'em up, you've got like the weird like rows that you're jumping into, right? Like it's not just like a normal 2D beat up like hack and slash or whatever. It's like got several rows that you jump to, so sometimes it's hard to tell where you're jumping if you're jumping across rows. So I'm just falling because the path is just weird, and it's hard to kind of like say it without like showing. But so I get all the way there, and then I get to the final, I guess this final form where he's like this weird tentacle looking creature, and I'm fighting him, and I can get him down, and then he sprouts like a heart. He's like, I mean, it's a crazy like battle, and I've done it maybe 7 times today, and I cannot beat him. So I'm like so close, but I'm really enjoying it. Like it's because as you level throughout that game, you're getting new skills and like new, I guess like new moves. And okay. I don't know. I'm having a good time with it. So I'm going to play more, and then I plan to go through it as Scott, and then, some of the other characters. I want to check out what else there is about the game that I'm missing once I finish. I don't want to like go and look up stuff. I want to kind of just beat the game on a blind run and then go back in and figure out more stuff about it. So far my initial impressions are the game's freaking good and I like it. So there you are.
That's good. I think it's well known I hate side-scrolling beat 'em ups, and I played the demo for this back in the day and I didn't like it. So
well, there you are.
There you go.
All right, now let's move on to Monster Hunter Rise. Yay. What'd you think?
I'm very impressed with Monster Hunter Rise. It's basically Monster Hunter World on the Switch.
Yeah.
Runs really well. Looks good for a Switch game.
Yeah.
Yeah. The only complaints I have are the controls. I don't think are as good. They made the D-pad this useless wheel for like nonsense that I'll never use instead of the items. And I couldn't figure out a way to change it. It also didn't look that hard because it's like a demo. Who cares? But yeah, that sucks. I don't know if you ran into this. Another control thing where if you hold L and then use the Y and A to switch items out, like the one you're using.
Mm-hmm.
If you hold L and press Y too early, it doesn't do anything. So you have to wait like half a second and then you can start switching items, which fucking sucks and I hate. Especially when L has no other function.
Yeah.
So besides those 2 things, it's great.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah.
I played
a lot of Monster Hunter.
Okay. I only played like 2 of the missions, and then I was like, this is good. I like it. More Monster Hunter. Here we go.
It's only the 2 missions.
I played the first one twice, just with different weapons.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great. It's more Monster Hunter. If
It's
you
more
don't
Monster.
have, I mean, the rumor is this is coming to PC based on the Capcom leak thing, hack, whatever.
Oh yeah, from a while ago. I think we had an episode
So
about that.
yeah, and also there's a Resident Evil event on like Tuesday or some shit or Thursday. I'm super excited for next week.
Oh yeah, that's true.
But yeah, this was really cool. I liked the bosses they added. It's great. It's Monster Hunter. Yay.
Yay!
But I want this on PC. I want this on my TV. I want it 4K 60. Like I don't. It just it looks good. It looks. I'm so impressed by it.
Yeah, I was
It looks.
surprised how it ran.
Yeah, they did it. They killed it. The problem is, I've played Monster Hunter World on my PC. I know what this looks like,
Yeah.
and it looks better than this.
Yeah, you know how good it can look, so now playing it
Yeah,
on something graphically inferior is hard.
yeah. But if you're big handheld and you're like, I didn't want World because it's on my TV. I want this handheld. This seems like the perfect game for you. Like
Mhm.
it's not compromised in any way. This doesn't feel like a 3DS port or a dumbed down version. It feels like Monster Hunter World on Switch, and that's really cool.
Cross-platform. That'd be cool.
Yeah, their online barely works as it is,
I know,
so
right? I did not try the multiplayer. Did you try it?
no,
No. Okay.
no.
All right.
Yeah, I don't know about how well that's gonna go.
Same. Same.
uh,
All right. I'm
yeah,
gonna if you want to talk about the next game you played, I'm gonna go to the bathroom real quick.
fine. Did I beat Yoshi's Island? I don't know if I mentioned it. It's such a weird time warp between last week. The weeks are all the same week. Anyway, Yoshi's Island's really cool. I get it. I don't care. I do think not that I don't care, I'm so flippant. Uh it's really good. The problem is the Switch Online has those functionality where you can rewind. And so I would get hit and I'm like, let's just rewind. So I played through a lot of the game like that. And it goes back to almost the same conversation as Celeste in the accessibility modes, where if this wasn't an option, I would have had an entirely different experience. And perhaps I would have had a better experience and I would have had like the air quote correct experience of everyone else that played Yoshi's Island. But instead, since I can do this, I'm just gonna do this. I'm just gonna rewind it. Who cares? Even with that and ignoring that entirely, I do like the game. I think the bosses are really cool, except for the final boss. Not the final, the Bowser Jr. fight of the boss. I didn't understand what to do, and it was really annoying. The game's super cool. I give them a lot of credit for making something so different from Mario World. Mario World is better, though, like unequivocally better. Unequivocally, yeah, that's a word. Real quick, I also played Journey to the Savage Planet a couple of weeks ago now.
Ooh, how was that?
Um, I like it. It's good. I was
What
playing it on Xbox.
what is it like? I don't understand that game.
Well, I'll get to that in a second. I'm playing it on Xbox Series X, but it's just the Xbox One version, and it doesn't look super great.
Okay.
So I wish it was on PC, but it's not on PC Game Pass. It's kind of like Metroid Prime in a way. Um,
What?
yeah, but not in any way that I would say go out and play this.
Oh.
Uh, so you're crashing on a planet. You go and explore. There's things to scan, and you got to pay attention to where you are and what abilities you have or what you don't have, and then you go back there and kind of try to navigate your way around. It's mostly about navigation and exploration instead of combat. There is combat, but um, it's not the big focus. It's really cool. My big problem is there's no map. Uh, and I got lost for like 30 minutes and I had to look up where I needed to go. And I was like, oh, okay. Well, if I had a map, I would have realized I hadn't gone that direction. And I really think you add a map into that game and it's amazing. Without a map, I don't know what's going on. I don't care what's going on. It's just too much. It, it really needs that map. It really does. It sucks that that's like the one thing to me that's holding it back, but I'm not. I played, I don't know, probably 4 hours or so. I played a decent amount of it, but I'm not going back. And it really was like, I want to explore and find all these secrets, and doing everything about it is a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But the fact that I have no way to gauge where I haven't been or what I haven't found or any of that is it's like, well, why bother? I don't even want to do this.
Yeah, that's
It
weird.
really just deflated my entire enjoyment, because you have such a good the first couple hours where you're exploring and everything's new, and then you get to a point of like, oh, where do I go? Oh, but what about and you're not quite sure. And that was when I paused and started looking around, like, oh, there is no map. I thought it
Oh
might have been an
no.
upgrade or something, and like, oh no, there's just no map, and yay.
That's a
So
bummer.
whatever. It's cool, and I recommend it. I'm sure a lot of people, and a lot of people do really like it. But yeah, the map killed it for me, unfortunately.
Okay. What's the
Which is
combat
weird.
like?
But the combat, you have a pistol basically, and you shoot the pistol at little monsters. It's not great. It's fine.
You
It's
just
more.
unsold me on this game.
Well, I also played it like 2 weeks ago now, so I'm like,
Oh,
you shoot stuff. It's not really about the combat. It is about exploring
okay.
and finding little creatures, and you scan the creatures, and it has funny little jokes about them. And you can lead these creatures with bait, basically, to this other monster that'll suck them up and eat them, and then its vines will shrivel up, and you can go that way, like to unlock a door, basically. That's cool. Those puzzles are cool, but they're not marked on the fucking map that doesn't exist. So I have no idea where anything is, or
Yeah.
if I've done it before, or like even that lackluster map from Jedi Fallen Order would be a vast improvement.
I like that map. It wasn't
I
that
liked it
bad.
too. Yeah. No one
Cool.
else likes it, but
Yeah,
it's
that's true.
fine.
That's true. Cool.
So that's that. I want to hear about Code Vein, because I don't know
Code
why you
Vein.
started playing it.
So I started playing it because I was kind of like hankering for a Souls game.
Okay.
And I actually played it earlier today. I started it a couple weeks ago. And I was really enjoying it. And then I got to that butterfly boss with like the T-Rex tail, weird looking tail. And she kind of kicked my ass at first. And then that's when I was like trying to figure out, okay, how do I beat this thing? And so I realized like, okay, I kind of need speed a little bit and I need some anti-venom. So I bought that stuff, one attempt, got my ass kicked. Then I was like, okay. And that's when I stopped playing it. Not like because I was like done with it, but at that time I just like had been done. And then I picked it up this morning. Had a little bit of time to kind of kick around some games. So I got on, picked it back up, got into that boss, beat it on the first try. And it was just about knowing when to keep my space when it's like shooting out the venom,
Mm-hmm.
and then dodging at the right time, and then swiping, jumping back out. And so beating that boss just like kind of got me back into it. And I like, I think what I enjoy about that game is like not even the anime portion of it, or like the fact that it's very kind of like that you can have an AI partner, which I do like that, because it's kind of like, oh, you can aggro some of the assholes for me.
Yeah.
I like the way you can kind of change, you can switch out which class you are, and you can level up those abilities, and you kind of get like, I just got the fireball, so I started using the fireball at a certain point on some of those. And so it's interesting how that part works. So I'm interested, like I can't wait to kind of get more into it. And just I don't know, it's a weird game. I don't know why. It just, I have this game just feels weird to me. It's just like the areas are really odd, and then the monsters are just weird looking. And explain this one thing to me that I came across, because I'm playing offline,
Uh-huh.
and I think I came across something that triggered an event in the game where like There's like regular monsters, but they were like on patrol and they were like highlighted in yellow, and they just came after me, and it was like wave after wave until I finally killed the last wave of them. Did that ever happen to you while you were playing?
Doesn't sound familiar.
They like kicked. So one time they killed me, but the next time like it was something red that I either ran over or picked up,
Yeah,
like a
that's what.
flashing
So
red thing. What is that?
I do think there were portions of the game where it was like you grab this thing and now you got to hold out in this area.
Is it an item that you get out of that?
I think so.
Because I just
Yeah.
stopped. I just stopped. Like I just avoided that part of the map. I was just like, fuck this, dude.
Yeah, that doesn't sound exactly familiar, but I do remember something.
It like tells you something on the screen, like, hey, this thing is now coming after you, or something like that. And then
Huh.
just they came out of nowhere and they just started like attacking me, and I was like, what the hell's happening? I don't know.
Weird. Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know. It's been so long time since I
Yeah.
played the game.
I'm enjoying that game. It's one of the reasons why I started playing my Xbox more. It's just it's interesting, and I want to play it, and then once I hit like a roadblock on it, I'll probably stop. But as long as I'm enjoying it, I'll keep playing it. I don't think I'm gonna like try to like grind my way through it and beat it because it's on
No.
Game Pass. We don't do that with those.
Not even I beat that game.
we don't beat Game Pass games.
Yeah, I must have beat one.
Nah.
Oh, I beat several, yeah. But a lot of them, no.
Yeah. Next game on my list is Dark Souls. You watched me play it already, so I don't need to talk about it too much because I only played like a couple hours of it, and it was mainly
you got pretty far though.
Did I?
I think you did for 2 hours.
I must have skipped a large part of it then. I don't know.
I don't think so. No, I think you ran past some stuff.
I ran just in that one area, but I think I'm gonna go back now and kind of trudge my way through it, where that priest is. But yeah, I don't know. It's it feels old for sure. Like if that game feels old, even the remastered version. But it was on sale, man. I couldn't pass up that sale, and I was like, oh man, I've never played Dark Souls. I just want to play it. Finally, I want to get it in my, because that's like the only one I haven't played, because I've played Dark Souls 2. I played it a long time ago. Played Dark Souls 3. I played Bloodborne. I've played Sekiro.
But you've played these games. Which ones have you beaten?
Only Bloodborne, really.
Okay.
Yeah. But that's the only one I've really liked out of all of them. I like Sekiro, but Sekiro is, I'm also like, it's one of those games where like I have to uninstall it for a while and then go back to it. And I'll probably carry over my save and play it on a PS5 eventually. But But yeah, that game is hard.
Yeah, that game is hard.
Yeah, at least Bloodborne is something I can like cheese every now and then. But yeah, I don't know. I'll probably we're planning on playing more Dark Souls here soon, where you kind of guide me through it. You're gonna be my Dark Souls Sherpa.
It's fun, because kind of funny is been doing a shit ton of Bloodborne content.
Yeah, all of a sudden.
Yeah, and that's why I started playing Dark Souls 2, because I want to replay all the Souls games, and that's the one I'm up to.
Yeah.
And then Blessing's also playing Sekiro, so I'm gonna probably play that after Dark Souls 2, because God.
Oh wow, they're really getting, because I think Andy Cortez is playing Dark Souls 3. I think.
He's playing Dark Souls 1.
Oh okay. Oh.
Right now, yeah.
Nice. Okay. Dang, they're all soulsing it up, huh? What's going on over there?
Yeah, because they finally realized that they're fucking best games to come out in the last 10 years.
I bet it's Emron. He's getting them all on it. Well, that's good. I'm glad they're finally playing them.
Yeah. It is funny watching people play those games, especially like Greg, who just has like the worst spatial memory. He's good at the game, but he gets he gets lost really easily, it seems like, or like, oh, I went the wrong way, or which way do I go for this? And I know I've played that game a lot, but I don't feel like I got that lost.
Yeah,
and even
oh no, go ahead.
No, and even watching you play Dark Souls, I think the way I play these games is part of the reason why I love them is very meticulously. and going through all the little pockets and corners. And I have a very good like spatial memory
Mm-hmm.
of where things are or where they were. And I think I'm very rewarded with that in
Yeah.
these games. I know where everything is. I know how to get to it. I don't forget that. I don't get lost in these games ever. I
Yeah.
mean, sometimes it's a dark cave, but that's a dark cave. It's hard to tell where you are
Yeah.
in a dark cave.
If I'm running through a section, I'm definitely gonna get lost. I think if I'm like slow, like kind of just working my way through an area, I'm gonna do okay. But like if I get turned around the wrong way or I run through an area and then it's like, oh wait, how do I get back? Oh no, where's the bonfire? Help!
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. But I like it. It's interesting
Yeah.
how old it
I
feels.
well, watching you play, I think you did a good job against that first boss, and then you just fought rats for 4.5 hours.
Yeah, those rats, man.
And I
Tell you
don't
what.
understand, like, the way you fight these rats. This is why I needed to be talking to you, because
Yeah.
it's like you're not understanding exactly the way to just exploit these stupid rats and beat them up.
Oh yeah, man. I have. You know what's weird is there's just sometimes little enemies in certain games will just just get me.
Yeah.
There's like same thing in Scott Pilgrim. There's this section in like level 6 where you're fighting, I think they're Wolverines, and I have such a hard time
Damn.
with them. Such a hard time with the Wolverines. And
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah,
got stuck on them
that
a long
happens.
time. They're just I hate rodents. Rodents, dogs in games, the worst.
We'll wait till you get to this boss later that has two dogs in the boss room and it's real tiny.
Oh
Uh,
jeez.
there's a boss in Dark Souls 2 that is just a bunch of rats.
Oh.
Just a bunch of
Oh
rats.
jeez.
And then one comes out that's like the super rat,
Oh
but he
god.
looks like
The
all the
Rat
other
King.
rats. Yeah.
It's the
And that's an
fucking Rat
annoying
King.
fight. So I want you to look up that fight and then be like, oh, okay, my rat problem's not a problem.
Yeah, yeah. Well, now that I've it finally, you know,
That's true, you're past it.
now I'm past it. Now it finally, I'll never go back to those rats.
If you kill that boar, it doesn't come back. Also.
Oh, good. Well, he killed himself on the fire, so.
Oh, did he? That's nice.
Yeah, I just kept. He would run over to me, and then I would walk up the stairs, and he would walk with me and walk right into the fire. So he's dead.
Oh,
Yeah, he died.
that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can get a decent helmet from him.
Oh, he didn't drop anything. What the hell?
No, he definitely did. You might have to go back and
Oh,
get it.
dang. Okay.
Anyway, I've played like 30 hours of Dark Souls 2 in the last 2 weeks.
Nice.
It's basically been the only game I've played. Because everything else, yeah, everything else is on the Switch, and I just play the Switch like in bed and stuff. Like that's not
Yeah.
for like 20 minutes. It's not really a big thing. I really like Dark Souls 2, and I think it holds up so much better than Dark Souls 1. I think it's more consistent than Dark Souls 1 in terms of the highs and lows. I think the highs of 1 are better
Mm-hmm.
and are perhaps more frequent, but there are lows. I don't know. It's really tough having this internal struggle of is Dark Souls 2 better than Dark Souls 1? And I think maybe,
Oh
but
no.
it's so close. The
Yeah.
game is so good, and the thing with Dark Souls 2 is there's just so much content. So many areas you keep going to this place, that place, this place, that place. There's just so much there.
Yeah.
Um almost to its detriment. But
Huh.
I really respect Dark Souls 2 a lot because it reminds me of Demon Souls. You have to go back to the central town to level up. The level structure is more linear. More linear. It's way more linear, and it'll be like you have two areas you can go to, and that's the branching path, right? And you do one for a little while, and then you're like, let me do the other one. And that's kind of what Demon Souls is, as opposed to Dark Souls 1, which is very much an open world, in air quotes. Um, but I think a lot of the progression in Dark Souls 1 just doesn't quite work for me, but also it doesn't quite work for me in 2. What I'm realizing is Bloodborne
Is
and
better.
Sekiro are so much better,
Yeah.
I think, than the Souls games. And even saying that, Dark Souls 1 and 2 are still fucking amazing. It's not like, oh, they're bad.
Yeah.
I've had a great time going through it. I've only played Dark Souls 2. So they released Dark Souls 2, and then they released the Scholar of the First Sin edition of it. And that rearranged a lot of enemy placements.
Okay.
And I've only played that version once.
Mm.
So this is my second time through, and it's kind of my second time through for most of the DLC as well. And I'm just now getting to the end game and going to the DLC areas and doing stuff like that. It's great. It's such a good. I love so much about it. There's so many amazing, memorable moments with it. I don't know. I'm really having that struggle of, do I think this game is better than one? I think it just holds up better. Mechanically, the camera is better.
Yeah.
It doesn't have a lot of the weird jank. The level design is still really good. Man, I don't know. It's tough. It's tough.
I think my favorite thing about these games in general is there's this like almost like feeling of fear of exploration, but at the same time this wonder when you're going through that world. Like you don't know what's coming up and you're kind of scared, but at the same time you're kind of like excited to explore a new area. And the game makes you feel like a badass at certain points, and at the same time it makes you feel like a piece of shit. Like you suck. You just got killed in 2 hits, but then at the same time it's like once you finally that's to me that's the biggest thing. Like the satisfaction of killing a boss. There's nothing better in a game than when you kill a boss in a Souls game, to me. Like I haven't felt anything in any other game than when that happens in any game I've played.
I think that's where Dark Souls 2 excels, where a lot of the boss fights are really fun. Way more so than I think Dark Souls 1. There's a lot of boss fights in Dark Souls 1 that are just like, whatever. This isn't that. This is cool, but eh. And a lot of the better ones, I feel like they do that in Dark Souls 2. And there's so many bosses in Dark Souls 2. I think I gotta give it to it. Just it holds up better.
Dang.
And there's more shit in it. I don't know. It's so close. It's so close. I'm excited to go to play 3 because 3's the one that I'm like, 3.
I liked what I played of 3.
It's still great.
Yeah. I don't remember how far I got in it, but I remember really liking it.
You got to the problem with 3, is they tried really hard to be like, don't you remember 1? Look, this is the area from 1.
Hey, okay, remember 1?
Remember 1?
Yes, we remember it.
Like you fought the Minotaur on that rampart or whatever the fuck it is on a castle.
Oh yeah.
You go back there and you fight the tutorial boss guy. You go back there in Dark Souls 3 and do that. And that's cute, but it's so random and kind of stupid. I don't know. All the references to Dark Souls 1 and 3 don't work for me. Okay. They just feel so try hard. And that's why I like Dark Souls 2, is it's completely disconnected, but then you'll get these little bits of lore. They're like, are you talking about Dark Souls 1? I think you might be. What is this? I like that. I like that about it. It has almost the feel of a Legend of Zelda, where or like BioShock, like there's always a lighthouse, there's always a girl, there's always it feels more like that. Dark Souls 2.
It's infinite.
And I like that about it.
Yeah.
That's it. I'll shut up about Dark Souls.
We like Dark Souls here. We stand Dark Souls.
Do. That's true.
Okay. Yeah. The only other game I have to really talk about is League of Legends. I started playing League of Legends again. The new season started. LCS is going on. Some pretty good matches I've seen. Some pretty bad stompings I've seen.
Stompings?
Yeah, dude. Some, like, I mean, 100 Thieves has stomped a couple people. I watched, who did I watch the other night?
I'm not going to know.
I'm trying to think. CLG got stomped pretty hard, like 2 times in a row, which was pretty tough to watch. But then they won. They finally came back and won. But I started when I get back into League of Legends, usually because I picked up a new hero to play or champion. And I started playing as one called Kassadin, and I'm enjoying him. It's pretty cool. He's fun. He's got a cool skin. But yeah, I don't know. I'm just playing League here and there. I think because it's like the only multiplayer game I'm really playing besides that. I took a little bit of a break from Fortnite. Took a break from like Yakuza. So I just started playing like all these other games in the meantime. It's like I have a lot of games I want to play right now. The only thing I don't have is time. So just kind of rotating stuff around. But yeah, League is still really good. They really improved their item, like the store. So it recommends items to you. Like, you know, you're going against these champions, you should buy these items or suggest them to you. So it makes it a lot easier for people that are learning the game to kind of go in and be like, I don't know what to even buy. And then you go to the recommended tab and it says, well, this item here is good against these champions, and this is who is in your lane. So you might as well just pick this up. And so makes it easy.
Okay.
So it's fun. I've just been playing against AI bots, mostly just trying to learn the new champion I picked up, and he's been fun. And so I'm just playing that. And I think that's it. There's a few other games that I'm like looking to play, but I'm just like, I have so much right now. I just want to like finish getting through Scott Pilgrim. I want to play more Code Vein. I'll probably pick up Dark Souls next weekend, and then I still want to get back to Yakuza because that's still a game I want to see more of. There's just so much. There's just not enough time. I need more time, everybody.
Well, we got like a week and a half to the medium, and I am super excited.
That looks interesting. Gosh,
oh yeah,
I want to play that too. Game Pass, right?
Game Pass. Yeah, you have to play it on. Well, yeah, you have to play it on PC though.
Is it on PC?
Or
is it on both? Oh, it won't. It won't be on
Series X.
Oh, it won't be on. Yeah, okay. So
it's
I'll
like
probably have to wait then.
Not. It might be the first of note, the first Series X game that's only on Series X.
Interesting, because it needs that SSD.
Yeah, although it doesn't say you need that on the PC specs, and I'm gonna play it on PC. I guess I have the SSD anyway. But
yeah, interesting.
We'll see.
Maybe I'll wait on that one. I'll let you talk about it. Cool.
Yeah.
Any other games you want to talk about?
Okay, real quick. I played this puzzle game on Switch. It's called Shinkaku Shapes or something. Shinkaku Shape, something like that. And it's think like Picross, but there's a number on there, and you have to make a square or rectangle that matches that number. So if it's like an 8, you have to make 8 squares that fit the 8 in it, and then there's a bunch of other numbers on this giant grid, and you have to fit in all the shapes.
Oh, I see.
It's been nice after Yoshi's Island to play this little puzzle game.
Yeah,
it's really cool.
Interesting.
It was like $2, I think, something like that. It's very basic, bare bones. Like it's just the menu to play the puzzles. But I've been enjoying it. There's 90 puzzles, and I'm almost done. I think I have like 15 or 20 left.
Jeez,
I really liked it.
Cool, looks good.
And that's it.
All right.
I'm so excited for Resident Evil. So excited.
Yeah, it's supposed to be. When's the conference thing?
Next Thursday.
Next Thursday. Cool. We can talk about it on next week's show.
Oh my god! And then they posted the Capcom or the Resident Evil Twitter just posted a GIF of the RE4 inventory screen.
What?
And I'm losing my mind.
Oh,
but also that Shinkaku Shapes game. That's what that game is fitting inventory space of Resident Evil 4 and like moving shit around. That's kind of what the game is.
So you're getting plenty of practice already.
Yeah. Oh my god, I love that game. I have a run through of RE4 on Switch I didn't beat it. I'm gonna finish that after this. I'm excited.
Cool. Well, I think that's gonna do it for us this week. Any final words, Ben?
No.
Okay. All right, guys.
No.
That's it for this episode. Thanks again for listening. We would appreciate if you'd share this podcast with your friends. Help spread the word. of Final Checkpoint Podcasts, where each week we talk about video game news, react to games that we've played, and react to news that happened and all the craziness. You can listen to us on Spotify, iTunes, Google Podcasts, Stitcher. Head over to thegamefanatics.com. You can listen to it right there. You can also watch live on twitch.tv/loadlastcheckpoint. We begin the show 8 p.m. Pacific time every Sunday. If you're not following the channel, follow so you can know when we go live. And you can also submit topics, questions, concerns, anything like that by heading over and emailing us finalcheckpointpod@gmail.com. You can also send us DMs over at Twitter, at the Joelness, at Ben Runnings. Our Twitter handles are right under our pictures if you're watching the stream. You can shoot us any questions you want there. We will catch you guys next week. And if you're going to stick around on the stream, I'm going to have one more attempt at this boss on Scott Pilgrim.
Boy.
Pray for me.
Okay, I guess.
You can stop your
I
recording.
have to.
You can stop your recording of the podcast
If I have to pray, I will, I suppose.
if you must.
If I must.
If you must. All right.